In this Sengoku Dynasty Beginner's Guide, I'm going to walk you through the basics of the game and help you understand what to do. It's a lovely little game to get into, particularly if you have played previous Dynasty games such as Medieval Dynasty. There's a lot of fun to be had here. Let's get started. When you jump into the game, whether that be on PC or Xbox or PS5, I'm on the Xbox in this case, you want to start a new game. There are several different difficulty levels here. I'm just going to show you normal here, but you can read about the differences here. So the first thing you need to do is create a character, and quite nice with this one is you can change gender, so you can be male or female. You can vary the skin tone here, so I'm just using my D-pad to move around here, and up the top on the left hand side RB will move to face details, and we can cycle through different face types here. So we've got a little bit of customization. We can change eye color, we can have scars, freckles, stubble. So pick whatever one you like there. RB again on the top bar, and if it's different on the PC, you should see different buttons on the left and the right. Different hairstyles, and if you see down the bottom there, I've got rotate, left trigger, right trigger, so you can have a little look at different hairstyles here. I quite like number 3, and then whether you want facial hair on or off, you can see different options there as well, and we can change the hair color here if we want. Last thing we've got is the background, so you can have a starting perk if you like. By going with one of these, you can go no starting perk, or you can have a bit of a perk there, so more craftsman XP, which would be quite useful. More craftsman XP there. So these are going to help you a little bit. So if you want a little help in hand here, basically the game progresses that you can sort of level up your character in different ways. So if you do more building or more fighting, you will progress your experience points in that area. So if you've got an idea of what you want to focus on, like maybe a fighter might be cool, or maybe, you know, just a builder here, one of these would be good. So I'm going to go with the artisan here, which means using axes and pickaxes use 15% less stamina and durability, and I get 15% more craftsman XP. This will make sense in a second, but you can pick whatever one you want. So we then finalize. You can change the name by pressing X there, or just accept the randomly generated one here. I'm going to go with that, and we will start the game. This is the storyline I was telling you about. You can watch all of that, or you can hold A to skip. So that's what I'm doing. And we're thrown into this area here, and you can see immediately tells us what to do. We need to find Akko, our travel companion, and I think that probably vary depending on whether you start as a female or a male. But you can see this is me here. Now, for me, the view command is left on the D-pad here to change view. And if you hit the pause button, if it's different controls, if you're playing on the PC or the PlayStation, go to settings and you can see all of the controls here. So this is to walk you all through them here. So what are we got to do? We've got to find Akko. So right stick, as usual on the Xbox, is moving my camera around here, and moving forwards and backwards is the left stick. And if I push that left stick, we run forwards. Now you can pick stuff up immediately, and we've got that little flower icon or whatever it is in the middle, and you can see I can grab stones here, but I'm going to ignore that and just show you how the game teaches you stuff in this beginner's guide, because it does quite a reasonable job, but there are a few gaps, hence I thought a beginner's guide would be useful for Sengoku Dynasty. So as we go forwards here, you can see it's a beautiful world, lovely render engine, you know, introducing us to all of these things here. There is Akko, so we've got to Akko here, and you can have a little chat with them. You've got the X command here. Akko, you're alive. I've got to go talk to you later, but we'll go with you're alive. And then you get a bit of waffle, so you can just go all through here. We need to start a fire, and now we get introduced on making our basic tools. So you can see it says gather stones. So to gather stones, they are all around here. We just go up to one and hit X. If you hold X down, you'll automatically grab lots of these as you move over them. But just make sure the little flower is pointing at the stone you want to gather. You do have a limited number of different items you can store in your inventory. But we've got enough stone there to craft our first thing. But we also need some sticks. And we can go up to bushes and hold X there to gather sticks. And you can see we now have those in our inventory, and we are good to make our first tool. So you can see on the left hand side it says handcraft an axe. So we can do that. Now this will vary depending on whether you're on a console or on the PC, but for me, down the bottom there, handcraft right on the D-pad. So I press right on there, and then that brings up this little menu here. Now we want the axe. So you can see the axe is got a little exclamation mark, and I'm using my left stick to point diagonally upright on there. And I can craft one or multiple. So if I just want to craft one, I can press A. If I want to press craft more, I can press X. But I'm just going to press A and craft one stone axe. Now it tells me cut down a tree and collect a log. So we need that to get our next tool. So we're going to go up to a log, and down the bottom there you see primary swing RB or secondary swing RT. I tend to use RB, and I just hold that down near the tree, and then I will chop the tree down. So there we go, the tree is chopped down. That's good. I'm going to try and make sure it don't fall on your head. Looks pretty cool as the tree falls down. Then we need to hit this a couple of times, and what we should see is it'll automatically get split into logs, and we can just go up to these and grab them. And I think we only need one for our next tool, but we may as well grab them all here. So like we did with the stone axe, we need to handcraft a hammer, and down the bottom there we need to get rid of this stone axe so we can handcraft again. So if you press up on your D-pad, empty slot there, so I'm going to hit A there. And now I can go back into my handcrafting mode, so right on the D-pad, and now I can press up and craft the hammer. So A or RB will do that for you. And you can see it says use the hammer to build a campfire. Now this is something that might stump you, because if I press the quick slot up on the D-pad shows down below, the hammer's not here. So you're like, what do I do? If you hit the screens button on the Xbox or whatever button it showed in the controls for it. So again, if we hit the pause here, go to settings, go to controls, you're looking for that screens button here. So it's this, the inventory button, whatever one shows there if you're on a different platform. So you go into there, and then we can equip this or move it into the quick slot, so we've got quick access to it. So if I hit X, as it shows down the bottom middle, it's added to a quick slot automatically, and it's also assigned. So now when I go into the quick slots, it's sitting there. And now with that ready, if we hit open menu down the bottom there, with right on the D-pad, we've got access to all of the things we can build with a hammer. Up the top right, so I'm moving my left stick to top right and then selecting that with A. What we're looking for is that campfire on the right. So you can see we need stones and sticks. We've got that. And then we just need to place this. So down below, place structure RB. Do that, and then go up to it, and you can see it says deliver resources RB. So or whatever button it shows there for you. And you can see down the bottom left, I've got the right resources because they show green in brackets. So we've now got this. We'll just go back to the menu there, and we'll talk to Akko again.
Hi.
Are you feeling better? Yes, thank you. I have some Gobo roots to snack on. Here, take some. We can eat it together. So what do? Blah, blah, blah. We don't move on. We can spend our whole lives running away. Look around. There's fertile land, tall trees, fresh water. And we don't have any soldiers guarding us. So believed in the legend of the peasant kingdom. I don't intend to stop now. How do we start? Is this even a village over there or just ruins? Go and look around and see what happens. So we've got that. We can use that Gobo that we just got from Akko to cook. So we go here, hit cook, and then up on here, and we can choose X to craft more. So I've hit X, and then I've used right on the D-pad to change it to 3, and then I'm cooking these here. So that's how we cook. So we get a bit of XP for doing that. So we've already cooked. I don't think Akko needs any food. Let's see. I think it's the same stuff. So Akko's just saying, right, off you go. And then what we're going to do is go over to ruins. So up this way. We don't need any food yet. If you look at the green bar down the bottom left-hand side, where it's got a little drumstick at the bottom, that shows our food, so we're good for that. The yellow bar that you see down the bottom left is our energy or our stamina. And if I sprint, it goes down. So I'm doing that by holding the left stick down. But if I just move forwards with my left stick, I go forwards without that stamina dropping down. The red bar that you see down the bottom left is your health, and if you get attacked, or if you get damaged from some bandit attacking you or an animal attacking you, that will drop down. The bottom, the kind of like the fire icon, is like how warm you are, so it's fairly warm at the minute. Now we need to ask for help, so we've got the scavenger here, talk, and you can see we've died in the shipwreck, help us settle, blah blah blah, and we get a bit of waffle here, rebuilding old place. So bell tower is what we need. I found an old bell in the ruins. I meant to sell it too heavy. Here, take it, make it ring out. Where should I put the bell tower? Up to you. You can rebuild Tsusogi here, or you can take the bell and place it anywhere you like. But do come back once you're settled. There are some people here who could use your help. And that is the start of the game. So you can see it says unlock bell tower, so we need to sort that out. And this is the ruins of Tsusogi, which I like building my village here, and we knock this down, we get some resources for doing it, and that takes quite a while. But I'm going to show you the basics. We're going to get you the fundamental setup in this beginner's guide, and then from there you're free to progress. But the bell tower you can build in a different location if you wish. So you can see there's the old bell tower, so we may as well get rid of that. So hot slot, we'll use the axe here to chop that down. And you can see I get some sticks and planks for doing that. And any of these old buildings I can knock down as well just by whacking them here. So we'll just knock this one down. And you see this is a good way of getting some resources. So we've got all of that. But we do need to build that bell tower. So I'm going to do that in a sec. But I'm just going to knock down a couple of bits just to show you, the basic process of building and how the game develops. So here we go. That's good. All right, so we're going to build the bell tower. Let's just get rid of that manky thing as well. So I'm going to hit Y to crouch. A little bit closer, and then I can hit that. Then up again, so Y to stand up. And then we'll grab our hammer. And then open the menu here. And you can see exclamation marks where we've got things that are new. And there's the bell tower. Okay. You can rotate it with RT or LT, or if it's a different button, they'll show down the bottom middle. So just stick it wherever you like. It doesn't really matter too much. This is just sort of signifying a village is in this location. And then there's a kind of like a circle around this, a large circle where you can build stuff. So put it wherever you want to be the center of your village. But here's fine. So we'll place that. And then, just like everything else, you can see down the bottom left-hand side, stick, alarm bell, and any logs, which we've got all of the things we need here. So we'll just hit RB. And down the bottom middle, you can see 40, 50, 60, 70%. And when that gets to 100, we will have built it. There we go. So we've founded our village. And now we need to build a small house. And you can see down below, because we've done the bell tower, it's unlocked a small house. And basically, the more things you build, the more things unlock in the game. So that's the way the game progresses. So you need to think about an area where you want to build a house. So again, we hit the right on the D-pad there. And now we've got basic structures, but down the bottom left, using the left stick, we've got buildings. And then in here, you can see up the top, exclamation mark, we've got a small house. So we select that with A, and then we can move the right stick up and down to decide where we want to build this. You're free to build it wherever you want. That shows as green. So just move wherever you want. You've got the rotation if you want it here as well. So I'm just going to put it there, place the structure with RB. And then we get this base here. So this is basically showing, how we should build this. So down the bottom left-hand side, you see it says I need logs. So I've only got 3, so I can place them down to 1, but I still need another log. So you get the idea. We need to go and collect some more of these. So we select our axe like that. And chop this down like so. There we go. And then we'll just chop this down. Grab some sticks, because we're going to need lots of sticks. Sometimes when you chop down a tree, you'll get feathers, which are handy for arrows later. So we've got loads of sticks here. We've got the grass here. I was crouching down there, so I've just hit Y to stand back up. And that should do. So let's have a little look now what we've got. Now, if you wonder where your house is, so you want to go back to the hammer, so hot slots, wooden hammer again, and then you'll see that's where you were building it. So one more log, we're good. So we still need some more logs now, so I need to chop another tree. So it sort of builds up in stages, as you can see. You build, the foundation structure, as it were, and then we need the base of the house. And you unlock more, more impressive. I like the way I moved there, like, whoa, like it was going to hit me on the head. So we'll just grab these as well. And you'll soon get used to the build mode. It seems a little bit odd to begin with, but you soon get there. So that's done. Now we need those sticks that we were gathering from the bushes, and each of these walls needs a few sticks. So you can see we've got 23 sticks, 22, 21, 2 more to build this wall. We just keep going around here. So we're going to need quite a few sticks to build this first house. There we go. Keep going. And here as well. And then you're going to need some more of these sticks. So just go around grabbing bushes. Might need some grass as well for this roof structure. I can't remember. But there's loads of little bushes, so it's easy enough to get sticks. And back we go. So I can see where my house is now because it's glowing because I still had the hammer on. So you can get tired there, so just watch you sprinting around. I think it just basically limits how quick you can build stuff if your stamina does run out. But it soon regenerates as soon as you stop whacking stuff, as we saw there. Now, while you're collecting sticks, you may be thinking, oh man, I don't want to be constantly collecting sticks myself. Well, later on, you can get villagers to collect those for you. So it's only like the first stages where you've got to do the hard work. I don't mind it. So you can see there, now we need grass, sticks, and a log. I've not quite got enough grass, but grass is really easy to gather, as you probably saw. So you see I still need 2 grass on the left-hand side. My hammer has now broken. So we need to craft a new one. So we'll handcraft. There we go. That's our house done. But then we also need to make this hearth here. Guess what we're going to need? More sticks. So I still need to gather a few of those. We'll also need some grass as well. But we are almost done with the house. Okay, so back to the hammer. Beautiful. And this is our bed. So now we've got somewhere to sleep and somewhere to cook food, which is cool. So that's good. We've unlocked general storage. So you can see reach dynasty level 7 by recruiting refugees, completing special projects and quests. So we're all good there. So from here, you know, we need to start thinking about what else we can do. And we really need to start crafting the village itself and think about how we sort out things like food and resources and things like that. So back to our chap here, who is Tochichi, I think that's how you say it. We can say I've built the house. Congratulations. Expand, build a foraging or a woodcutting hut. But overall, time to settle down, eh? No, this is just the beginning. I want to build a place, blah, blah, blah. I convinced you it won't be easy. Start slow. So now we've got Akko. He also tells us about these people. So there's a warrior that you can get some info about. And you're now at a point where you need to be starting to think about quest. I missed the priestess there. Where was it? There we go. There she is. And they will all give you little quests to do. But we can get Akko to come and live in our place, but we've not got anything for Akko to do yet. So there's 2 things we really need to do is assign someone to a house, but then also give them some form of working to do. So now with the hammer, if we have a little look at our different things, our buildings, we've got storage buildings here. We can have a general storage building, which is useful just to store some stuff in. So that's important before we can build other buildings. So there's basically a central location. So you can see, I can't quite put that where I want because this building's in the way. So I'm just going to chop those down. So we'll go back to the hammer, open the menu, and go and build that storage. So it's in there, wasn't it? There we go, general storage. I'm just going to put that right next to the house that I've built. Like that. And again, it's exactly the same process. I'll speed this up, but you know, you can see that we need to find the logs, we need to find the sticks, etc. So I'll skip that in this video. So with the storage now built, you can see that unlocks guard post, workshop, and forager's hut. So here I can now store some stuff if there's things that I don't want to use in my inventory. So I've hit the inventory button here, which was screens for me. And then when I select something here, I can hit right trigger to move it all over here. So there's a bit of firewood here, this charcoal here. We can move these stones over here. I've also noticed I've got a fish in here, some raw food. So if we're getting hungry, you can see we are. So we can go to the sunken hearth here, and then we can cook that fish. So I've just done that there. And then if I hit the inventory there, you can see cooked fish, and then I can eat that. I've also got the cooked gobo that I ate, cooked before that I didn't eat. So that's my green bar now filled up. So from here, we've now got the ability to create other things. So we'll just make a bit more room again. We've also got a bucket on the floor there, which can be handy for a well. You can see that well's ruined, but we can build a well at some point. We'll clear this stuff out. Okay, so we'll build the Forager's hut. So we go open menu, and then we're going to have some raiders attack our village shortly. So we need to think about that as well, but not at the minute. So we're going to go production buildings, Forager's hut, and then look for a place where we can place this. Sometimes it'll show red if you can't place it in an area, so just look for a place where you can build it. And again, just go through and build that. You can see I've got new where the craftsman reached. I've got 4 perks I can unlock, which is going to help me with things. So if I hit the menu button here, or the screens button on the Xbox, and then have a little look at legend, these are different things I've got. So I can have 2 perks in where the leader, so I can have things with meals distribution or these. Nothing too useful there at the minute, but on the craftsman one, you can see I've got skilled lumberjack, which is going to help me chop stuff down. Also skilled constructor, and you can have a couple of things here. Perks to unlock down the bottom shows how many I've earned. This is basically going to help me, speed up construction. So that's a good thing to be unlocking. If you see this collision error, you just want to back off from what you're building. So you're not in the way of what's being built. You can see it's very dark now. So I do have the ability to sleep now. So we can go in here, use the bed, hold down X to sleep. And then I can use the left stick to choose where I want to sleep to. So I'm going to sleep until early morning. And we are here now. So you can see that raid has been updated. It says raid has been expected in 2 days. So I need to sort that out as well, which I'll talk about as well. So Forager hut's nearly complete. You can see I'm just working on the roof here. Just finished this off. You can see I've built the bulk of it here. We just got to finish off a couple of bits inside. So we've got this area here, the herbalist station. We've also got to build a little bed here, which gives us somewhere else to sleep as well. And this is really the start of the game where you can start getting villagers to come and help out. Getting resources for your village and start automating things. So this guy here is a bit of a pain, so we're going to sort him out in a minute. But you can see we've got a refugee here, but really the first person we should invite to the village is Akko. So Akko, we're going to go and get and say that we got you a home and we've got you somewhere to work as well, and you can help build up our mighty Sengoku Dynasty. I'm back to see Akko. Let's talk to her.
Hi.
I carry good news. The village is reborn. Come join me. You're unbelievable. That makes me so happy. Just tell me where my house is and I'll get to work. So what we need to do now is assign a home to Akko, which you can do if you hit the screens button here. And then we got these different things. So we had a little look at legend, and quests is an area where we can see, funny enough, quests. But the dynasty area is where we can start seeing what we've started making. So we've got a possibility of 2 population, and we've got our village here around dynasty legend at level 2 at the minute. And if at the top there you see it says RT just above my head there, that flicks me to the village here. But also I can see the population. So there's me and there's also Akko. So both of us are homeless at the minute, but we've got 2 beds that we built. So we can assign beds to them. So I'm going to give Akko the home. So I've selected Akko here by pressing A and then moving down on the D-pad to assign a home. And then I can pick the village, and then it shows me the possible places, small house or forager's hut. So I'm going to give Akko the small house and then move down with the D-pad here. So I'm hitting A and then moving down here to assign a bed to Akko. So you can see now Akko's no longer homeless. I still am, but Akko has now got a place. And then we can assign her a workplace as well. So looking to the right of that, you see we've got jobs. So if we right trigger to that, you can see this shows us the things that we've built and what we could assign a worker to. So the forager's workplace is really useful to begin with. So if we select this with A, then we can select a recipe and also assign a worker. So just up above there, you see there's the little arrow thing. So I select A there, and this will show me possible people that I could assign here. And Akko, being my only villager at the minute, is all I can assign it to here. So you can see down below, we can see what we've got to sort out. We have 30 meals a day that we need to sort. We've got no meals at the minute, so I need to sort that out as soon as possible. And I'm going to get Akko to help with this. So I've selected A there. And then if we go down, to this bit here with the left stick, and then I'm selecting A. And these are the things we can set Echo to look for. So certain things, if there's not anything nearby, like ore for copper and tin, may be hard. But we can get Echo to work with some of these other things. And some of the things that would be very useful is a bit of food. So while we build up other methods of getting food. So I'm going to say, look, go and find me some eggs. And if I put Echo on 99% workload, Echo can make or find 66 eggs per day, which would be very useful. Now, using the left stick, I can go to the plus and minus here and change how big I want this to be. And you could say, look, I don't want them to work to full extent. I want them to have some free time or whatever. So let's say we want to spend 45% of workload on gathering eggs. I can also work on multiple things here. So if I hit B to deselect that and then move down with a D-pad, I can say, do you know what, Echo, I would like you to help with some other things as well. So I'm going to say, find me some stone. And again, it will automatically fill that up to 100%, which is up to you whether you want to do that much there. But let's just say that I want you to work, say, to, I don't know, 71%. So 13 eggs a day and 30 eggs per day and 13 stone per day is what Echo will help out with there. So that sounds pretty good to me. Now, we could keep going with lots of different things, but that's a good start. So we're going to go with that to help out. While I'm over here, I'm going to have a little look around for some eggs, because that's one of the things that we can get as well. And if we have a little look up on these rocks, this is a possible place where we sometimes find some nests that we can... There we go, there's some nests. So we've got these eggs here. So I'm going to grab those, and then we've got the possibility of a food source there. This is Gobo that I've actually bumped into as well, which we can also cook to help with the food. So to begin with, until I grow some stuff, this is really going to help out. So we'll just do this. I seem to be stuck here. I've got trapped between two stones. Hey, get out of there. There we go. So I'm going to harvest quite a bit of this. You can grow your own Gobo plant in time, but to begin with, you're just going to be foraging and gathering. But Echo, like we saw, is going to help out with that. That'll do. So we've got a bit of that. And then really it's a case of, there's a deer that I could hunt. So that's quite interesting, but I need to sort out a bow and things like that. So you can see everything takes a while to build up. And obviously I can't go through everything because this beginner's guide will become huge. So I want to keep it to sort of 30-40 minutes. But if there's interest in it, I will add other videos to help out with other things. But I'm just showing you a couple of ways you could get food into the place. So remember, we had those requirements. We need to look at that. So in comes Echo. I'm aware there's no food in storage at the minute. So I'm going to sort that out. I'm going to just pop some food in storage. And I'm going to just cook something first. So ideally we want proper food storage. But until we do that, we may as well just chuck in some cooked food into general storage. So at least there's something there for Echo to eat. And myself, of course. So you can see I'm a bit hungry down the bottom left there. Not too bad at the minute. So we'll just cook the Gobo. And I'll also cook those eggs that we found. Oops, I missed there. So we'll do that there. So we've got eggs. And then if we have a little look at that general storage, check this out. So if we just look at it at the minute. So if I go to the Dynasty, you can see it says it's plus 60 meals. We've got 0 in requirements there. So I think we can pop some of these in here like this. And what I'm doing is I'm hitting transfer down the bottom, X to transfer. And then that should just have something in storage. So you can see we need 60 and we've got 128 there. So that's going to help out. That's going to make sure that there's food at least for the day for Echo to be happy with that. And then we've got the raid problem here. So if we talk to this guy and he will say, you know, he's basically, we've got this problem that we're going to get raided unless we support them somehow. So how much is it going to cost us for protection? 100. We can say I can't afford that. And he says, I'll give you a good price for your stuff. All right, so we can trade. And then I can trade in things here. So I've got 2.2 that I would get for this. But really the main thing that's going to enable me to get some reasonable money fairly quickly is to make some stuff that, you know, they value. So if we go to the hand slot here, I've got no resources, so I'm just going to gather a few bits and make some tools. Because basically, when you've got no guarding at all, you don't want to get raided because you've got nothing to protect yourself with to begin with. But then we can build guard places and all sorts of stuff moving forwards. So we've got a few bits there that we could sell. So we'll just go up to this guy. And you can see that the hammers are worth 10 each. So it's going to be fairly quick to get to the 100 here. So that's 30 that we've got. We've got a bucket there that I don't want to sell yet. So we just keep working with those. We've got that stone knife as well, which is worth 9. Nothing else worth too much at the minute. So that's basically what I'm going to do, is just make a bunch of those hammers. Just have a little look again, see if I can get to what we need. Here we go. And I've earned 100 there, so now I can sort out that, or get rid of that trade. So we'll talk here. How much do we want? 100. All right, here's the money. So that'll get rid of that raid warning, and I won't get raided now. So that's good. We've got that, and they won't attack now for a while. So we've got another refugee here that we could employ to help us. So that happens from time to time. We can have people join, and I could, look to add something else here to try and get it. But I need to have a little look at other quests to progress that. So this is the quests area here, and we can see we've got the Road to Renewal, help locals in Sengoku. So we've got Territorial Defense, the Impure Man, and the Tranquil Tribute. So we can have a little look at this one here. So you can track them here with the option there. And then you see up above, we've got this little exclamation mark here, which shows me where to go. So this is a first quest that we've got. And these will help get you some dynasty reputation as well. So here is this priestess. So we talk there. So we can say a little bit about it. Hey, come back. I heard you need assistance. The shrine is empty. Find an egg, cook it over a campfire. These times are tough, so this will do for now. I think I saw a crow's nest right on top of the rocks you passed on your way from Sengoku. So we've got a cooked egg, which I think I chucked into storage. So I've already done it, but now you know how to do it if you didn't. And then you'll see that that'll give some dynasty points, which will hopefully just level us up. We can get the next part of the village unlocked. There's an egg, so I'll take one of those. And you can see I'm hungry, so to eat, all you do is you go to your menu here and then just eat away there. And you can see cooked gobo's not that filling, but cooked egg is a bit more filling. But that'll do for the minute, but I need to remember to keep one cooked egg. So I now need to go to this shrine. So you see up above there, the little yellow exclamation mark. And hopefully that'll give me enough to get me to Dynasty level 3. From time to time, you'll see enemies. There's one up there, but I've got no weapons at the minute, so I can't really take them on. But you can see that there's a refugee in a cage. So if I do beat that looter later on, that's a way of getting a refugee. And you'll find refugees sometimes just camping out in the wilderness, and other times they'll be trapped like that, and then you can rescue them, and then they can come and join your village. There's a bit of bamboo, so that's quite useful for later. So what you can do is, if you see points of interest, so I've hit the screens button here, and then we've got the map. You can see the refugees do pop up on there, but if you want, you can also add markers. So down the bottom there, A to add a marker, if you want to do that. Somewhere around here is the shrine. There it is. Trapped in the bamboo. There we go, we'll just jump over here with A. And you can see, open the shrine, interact. Make an offering of a cooked egg. You get a little story there, which I won't bore you with. You get the idea. So we will get a little thing there. So it says interact. We've done that, and then we've get sand path has been unlocked, and we've reached level 3 of the dynasty. What I'm going to do though is just show you a bit of combat as well. So we'll just craft one of these yaris, and then if we go to the screens button, we can equip it like so. And then this is a bit of combat. So when we've got the Yari there, we select it there. And I'm using block there, which is LB. We're going to see if we can defeat this looter that's up here. So there's the looter. So I'm going to block to begin with while they come forwards until they've finished attacking me. And they're a bit tired. So you can see my stamina's going down when they attack me. And now I'm going to attack, which also takes down my stamina. So if my stamina runs out, my stance will be broken. So now I'm just going to attack back. You can see I'm tired there. And then we'll block again. But note, my stamina won't regenerate when I am blocking. I have to let go of it. There we go. So we've beaten that dude. So we'll loot them. You also get these Chujos, or whatever they're called, which occasionally you'll find bounty hunters who will give you a reward for trading in some of those. We've got some oil there, which is useful for heating. And then we can use our axe to rescue this refugee. We'll do this. And then we can talk to the refugee like this. Find out a bit about them. And then I can offer that they come and live with us. And then we go to the dynasty. So you can see we can add them like we did with Akko. So we've got homeless, refugee departing. You don't have to do this straight away, but we do have that spare bed. So I'm going to give them that, the one in the Forager's hut for the minute. And then I could also look at a possible job using the herbalist station, but I'm going to build something and use them somewhere else in a minute. Here's some enemy loot, so it's worth having a little look at these places as well. On our way back, we'll go back and talk to Chiome and just say that we made the offering. So there we go. And then we get a bag of Gobo seeds for doing that, so that can help us with farming later on. Whole can of worms we can start farming now, which I'm not going to show you because it's just more, but I'll probably show it in a separate video. So you can see it's opening up to another one here, but we basically now just go to the wooden hammer and then just continue. So you'll see stuff is, you know, gradually opening up. So now we've got the woodcutter's hut as our next step. So we just find an area for that and then build that. If it gets late at night, you do have a torch to begin with, and you can make your own in the build menu, and that can help you see a little bit easier. But if you're still building late at night, you can see you can't really do both at the same time, so you're just going to have to make a decision on which one you want to do. But you can use your torch when you're looking to gather stuff, so like if I want to keep building in the night, I can still go and forage at night like this. You can see the carpentry station's done. There's a problem that I don't have a bed at the minute, so I can't really go to sleep unless I build something. So another possibility is to have a little look at the hammer. And if you're caught away from a home, you can use the travel tents. So you've got this here, travel tent, and this one here, small tent, so it only needs sticks and grass. So I'm just going to put this here as a temporary structure while I sort things out, but at least that enables me to sleep until the next day, even though it's you know, I don't have a dedicated bed. And you see now I can sleep, so we'll hold that down and then I can choose till when, and we'll go to the next day. What we should see now as well is that we'll have some stuff from Akko, and also things can rot like we saw there, so later on you can build food storage. But now we've got this area here, I can craft and I can make things like firewood. So I can use logs to do that. We can pop those into storage. So we have various ways of getting to our general storage. So we've got that there. So I'll pop those over there. We can also make planks now, which is going to help with repairs. But more importantly, we can assign a worker to help out gather some other stuff here. So if we go to the dynasty again, remember we had that new person that had joined. And if we look at jobs, we can now go to the carpentry station, get this person, and then say what we want. So maybe we want some logs. So I'm going to say, can you get any logs? And you see we need a tool. So this one needs a tool to do it. So we need to make an axe. So I'll go to handcraft. So I need some sticks again. Sticks are the bane of my life. So I'm going to get them to help out gathering sticks with this in a second. So you'll just see this. It's just going to make life a lot easier. We'll make the axe. We'll create a few, so there's always some in stock. And now if we have a little look, when we're looking at that job. Carpentry, so you can see that the axe was assigned because there was one in storage, so that's done. So you can see now this worker can get 33 logs a day, but again, like what we did with the other one is we can go and change this a little bit and mix this up a bit. So we can say, look, I want 19 logs, but I also want you to help me with sticks. So we'll say, look, get me some sticks, and it'll automatically fill up for the rest of the workload. But you can see we need logs first, so I can't do this until we've got logs. So the sticks should occur the following day. The other thing you can do here is add different bits to here. So although we've only got one carpentry station here, we do have room for another one here. So if we take the hammer, we can go and have a little look at the furniture, production buildings furniture, and have a little look at the woodcutter's furniture. And we can add a carpentry station, but I need a log and sticks to do that, which I'll just go and grab quickly just so you can see that. So if we have a little look now. So you can see we can add that there, place the structure, just build. And then you can also do the same sort of thing. So if we want an extra bed in here, we could add that. So we just look at furniture and then house furniture and then a bed. Go with the improvised bed. You can see we can add several beds in here if we really want, but I'm just going to have 2. A minute. There we go. Then we got an option of another refugee now, so we'll talk to this one. What's your story? Yeah. You should be a dab hand by now, so we just go to the population, refugee, assign home, player there, and then that empty bed, and then the job. Carpentry station 2, assign worker, and then add what we want. So in this case, we could say we want planks or we want bark or whatever. I'm going to say I still want logs. So actually we'll have some firewood and logs. I'm just going to put logs on there for the minute just so we get plenty of logs being made. And that's it really. So from there, things will gradually build up. You keep doing quests. You can build all sorts of stuff in the game. You can see we've got another refugee there that we could take on. So things are progressing well. So the thing to keep an eye on is that you've got enough meals to supply things. We'll be able to build a well soon. Then we'll have water demands and all sorts of stuff like that. And gradually things will build up. So there's obviously a lot more about the game. You've got the knowledge guide here that will teach you a lot of things here about it. But it's a very fun game to work on and gradually build up. There's lots to explore. We didn't really go through it, but the map, you've basically got ways of exploring and discovering new technology and new people to talk to. And each of these areas you see down below can be liberated by doing certain things. So you can construct a bridge, defeat a looter leader, and defeat 5 looters to free this area. And then you will also lower the chances of you being raided if you can do that. So you want to be working on that as well. And each of the regions has different liberation conditions, so that's quite fun to explore. And discovering new materials will gradually unlock new stuff as well. If there's any questions, do let me know, and I'll try and put up some other videos on other things. But I thought a beginner's guide would make sense because there's quite a lot to cover. I hope you found it useful. If so, please do let me know in the comments. Hit a like and a subscribe. Would be awesome. Thanks for watching.